Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you know that I've been steadily working my way through sharing my thoughts on 2024 holiday makeup, and that this year I decided I would try a broader range of brands and just try things that I might be missing out on, and I've had so much fun with it. There've obviously been a few mistakes, and that's partly because these collections come out bit by bit. So you buy into a certain collection and then something that maybe would work better for you comes out 4 weeks later, and you wouldn't have bought that other thing if you'd waited. But I just kind of got stuff as it came out, and then I can also share it with you because this is my hobby to talk about makeup on here. So today we're going to look at Gucci, and I would say that it's up there in my top 3 kind of holiday collections. You know that as well as the odd kind of individual, I'm looking over here, the odd individual product, like say this YSL lip product is just, I didn't buy into the collection, I just got this one thing, and that's fun, and I've worn this lots of times. What I love is when there is a whole kind of color story presented, a certain look that you get by getting something for the eyes, cheeks and lips and using them together. They've done the thinking for you. They've created a look that harmonizes, but you can like play with it. Obviously you could do what you want. You can mix it with, I could mix all these holiday collections together, but so far I haven't done that. I've either done a Dior look, a Chanel look, a Merit look, and I like that because I just kind of, then it narrows down the choice and it's easier for me to select what I'm going to do. And this is such a harmonious, pretty color story, but at the same time it's not so out there. And also when these collections drop really early, it's fine for me if some of them feel more autumn and some of them feel more party New Year's Eve sparkle, because it's the whole of October, November and December that we're talking about. And in some wearable items like the Merit collection, all year round really. So I have dived into this more than say the Chanel so far because it just feels very autumn, very now, and kind of daytime appropriate. So the Eyeshadow Quad, and this will all be linked, is Festive Glow 04. And also I looked last night and I could still find these products to buy online, and I will link where they're kind of most in stock or whatever. So this is the Eyeshadow Quad, and I'll just take the little applicator out. I'm going to say it, I'm so annoying, I say it every time, don't throw these away. I even saw a lady on Instagram saying, throw these away because they make you do your makeup in a way that makes you look older. Rubbish. It's about where you place the makeup. I find these useful for travel. I also find these sponge applicators, this is a perfect example of the pigment in this quad is difficult to build up and get enough of, in my opinion. With say a synthetic brush, you've got no chance. So I find that quite useful for packing on the colour, and then I use a nice quality brush to blend. Anyway, in here you've got one matte, which is this kind of burgundy shade, but it doesn't come across burgundy. I will swatch it for you. It comes across as an earthy, deeper pink or a cranberry, but it's hard to build up much more intensity than that, and that's matte, so that's going to be naturally your crease shade. And you can see I had to build it up quite a bit to achieve what I've got going on like there. Then the next shade in the palette is this gorgeous like antique bronze here, and that's probably your workhorse shade. That's pulling the most kind of depth and stuff here, and it's got a bit of sparkle through it, but it's very subtle. And then you've got this unusual kind of like tangerine. It's like an apricot and an orange had a baby. It's a soft orange, but it's more orangey than it is coral or peach. And then lastly, in the corner there, you've got like your topper, which is a sort of translucent baby pink full of glitter, but it's quite subtle, and I tend to not even bother with that shade. I don't get on that well with toppers. See that? So it's subtle, not massively pigmented, but that can be a good thing, because sometimes, like, I'm trying to think of examples. When I used to have those, is it Lorac Unzipped? I used to have some palettes where you would just touch the brush and then, oh no, I've got too much on my eye. And but you could build these up, but you do need to use your fingers. I even used a cotton bud today to get that burgundy shade really intensely and get it on here. So you just got to like play with it. But the colour story is worth the work because it's just, look at it, it's just so unique. But to me, this screams autumn, not so much Christmas, but I still think it's worth getting because now for over a month, I've been wearing this a couple of times a week. The blushes are perfection. And it's funny, when I first saw them, I didn't like either of them. It's when I started watching videos of people who know way more about makeup than me and how to get the best out of it, that I was like, oh, actually. So this one is Soft Peach number 10 because they carry on the numbers from the 9 permanent shades. And then this is number 11, Intense Ruby. I've got a ring light on and it's a bit warm and I hope I'm not skewing the colours, but I think I think this is about right. It's a juicy watermelon pink. It's like a raspberry, but then it's got a spritz of lime in it, in that there's a sharpness to it. It's not bubblegummy and it's not magenta. It's got a bit more warmth in it than that. I'm going to put it here next to the eyeshadows. And then this one is really light, and I was worried it wouldn't show up on me, but it does. And it helps you to tone down the Intense Ruby if that's something you want to do. And also, because of the issues I've said about the pigmentation and this not being the easiest, not terrible, but it's not the easiest eyeshadow palette I've ever worked with, I feel like these are my 5th and 6th shade of this. So I used all 6 shades. Oh no, I didn't use any of the topper, which is now almost vanished there. I just kept it to these more autumny shades and I've mixed the 2 blushes. So I've got enough of that pink to give me a pop, and it tends to really bring out the blue in my eyes, but I've toned it down. So what I did was on this cheek, I used this colour first, and then I just used a little pop of this here and then blended it out. And on this side, there's more of this because I went in with this colour first, and then I went round the edges and blended it and softened it a bit with this. So I like these 2 together. In fact, I will swatch the 2 blended and see what that looks like. And hopefully you will see. It doesn't make a whole new colour, but it just, yeah, it does actually. Okay, so there's the Intense Ruby, there's the Soft Peach, and there's the 2 mixed together. Isn't that great? That whole colour story is very warm, very rich for what I tend to favour. But that's the whole point of these holiday collections. You're supposed to maybe get something that is not what you wear the rest of the year and experiment. And if you know yourself and you know, oh, I just would never wear that except on Christmas Day, then maybe it's not like a good investment, because all this makeup is expensive, high-end makeup, and I don't buy any of it without the full intention that I'm going to make it work long term. But some things we get just because they're beautiful packaging or they feel special, I get that. But this collection, I think I will use it loads. So, as I said, 2 blushes in Soft Peach and Intense Ruby, absolutely stunning. Our Eyeshadow Quad. The only issues I've had, as I've said, is that this colour doesn't come off quite as deep. This bronze is perfect. This, I'm just not really an inner corner shimmer person. I might do it just to show you. All my little pencil brushes are dirty. Oh, this is the end of this double-ended Merit brush. And it's just this colour, this lovely peachy shade. I had to really rub at it to get enough to really show here the oranginess. And then I've created like hard pan. Can you see that, where I've like pressed it down? And people did warn about that. So I'm just going into that pale pink kind of shimmery shade. But I don't tend to get on very well placing shimmery shades like there. It doesn't actually show that much because I'm a bit crepey there. And sometimes it backfires. See, way too much now. So it's pretty, and I guess this is the bit actually that can make this go from what I think is quite a warm, glamorous but daytimey look, ooh, to maybe amping it up for the evening. So there's a bit of it in the inner corner. Now I'm going to try it with my, I have made so many brushes filthy. I've used 10 brushes today. Okay, so if I put my finger in it, it doesn't look like it's so prone to hard pan as its neighbour. And I'm just going to tap that on the middle. But on me, I never feel like, yeah, it doesn't really, it's really subtle. It doesn't change the look up. Like when you put the silver Chanel from that jumbo eyeshadow palette, when you put the silver, it really changes the way that the other, can you see? It's just lightened up that bronze, but I like the bronze. So it's like, it just changes it from an earthy autumn look, like here. It just kind of does bring a little pop, but I'm not sure that it really adds anything for me anyway. Anyway, I'm going on and on now. Lips, just quickly. So there are 2 lipsticks in the holiday collection. One is this, they're both matte, Valeria Rose, and all they've changed from a regular matte lipstick is the lid is that lovely cranberry red, which I love. Kind of coordinates with that. So I'll just swatch them and then we'll choose one to wear. So Valeria Rose, to me, is a very warm rose. It's more warm than the Chanel Radiant Rose cheek colour, but it's similar. It's going into an orangey brown vibe, and it's quite a sort of saturated statement colour on me. So I bought another shade, and the other one was a red, a really bold rusty red, I think. So I bought Peggy Taupe in the same formula, because with this eye look, I quite like the idea of something a little bit more mauvey, similar actual depth of colour, but it's cooler in tone. And then also this lipstick goes with some other holiday releases that I got from Dior and other brands. So I have got holiday makeup, and then I've bought a couple of other things that make some of the holiday collections work more broadly for me, if that makes sense. So that's the other one that's not a holiday colour, and I really like it. These mauvey pinks I've been getting into, but that's the actual holiday one. And then similarly, and I think this goes so well, if you're trying to make this collection every day and like just your autumn day makeup, this goes really well. But it's sheer and it's not matte, and it's really, the browniness of it really complements that kind of maroon and bronze. And this is a Voile, so it's one of the, like, I guess it's like a tinted balm in the shade Mildred Rosewood. I mean, the packaging on these is so nice. And I'm going to put it next to the Christmas one, and you'll see it's almost like those two blended together. It's here, and it's a bit more warm than the pinky mauvey one, and a bit less warm than that one, but all 3 of those. So this is what I've been wearing today. And this is the sort of thing, it has got pigment. It's not like some of those, like the Dior Lip Maximizer ones, where I've got the lilac one from this summer, and it doesn't really look different to the other tones that I've got. But you could put this on in the car without a mirror. Do you see how it just harmonizes with all the rest of the look? But it's not really bold. But if I was going out for dinner and I wanted to leave this eye makeup on and I wanted the look to look a bit more punchy, I would put, like I did just now, I would add that topper shade, maybe over in a corner or just over the centre. And then I would add the holiday matte lipstick in Valeria Rose. But this is not an everyday shade for me. It's a little bit, I find it quite bold. Like, look at the makeup now with a nude lip. It really looks quite natural. But if I'm looking in the mirror, the eyeshadow look looks way more bold than it looks on camera for me. But when I add this, it does take it up a notch. But I feel like this shade looks really orange on me, and it makes my teeth look a bit yellow. I'm glad I have it, but it's because it really goes with the eyeshadow palette. But I think it's also the pink, the bold blush, and this, I just feel like, too Aunt Sally, a bit too much for me. But I've seen it look great on other people. What do you think? I prefer the other matte. So let's just tell you what, my lips feel sore. I tried on loads of lipsticks today and they're not happy. Okay, so this is Peggy Taupe in the matte as well, but it's just a lot pinker, cooler. What do you think? Which do you prefer? Excuse my concealer's worn off. See what I mean? It's just a bit softer, but I would, if I'm dressed up and I'm wearing like a skirt and heels or whatever, I'm going to go for it and put this on. I'm not going to not get any use out of it, but I'm glad that I've got these other two because I think they look a little bit softer when I'm trying to make this daytime appropriate. And with all these holiday collections I've got, I want them to be customizable. I want to be able to wear them not just when I'm going out for a party, because I'm only going out like for 3 evening out things over Christmas. Probably I will end up doing some more like last minute dinners, but we're going to see a musical on Friday. We are going to a couple of Christmas concerts. We're going to a cocktail party at someone's house. We are going to Disneyland Paris, where I will do full glam every day, even though I'm in my jeans and going on roller coasters, because any excuse, I will do my Christmassy makeup. But you know, we're going out for dinner on Christmas Day, but it's not like I'm going out on Friday and Saturday night for like several weeks in a row. I'm not. So I need makeup that I can also wear in the day. Like I could answer the door now. I went to the vet for the dog's post-op check like this, and I didn't feel too colourful, but it's definitely more than my school run no makeup look. Anyway, I wanted this video to be relatively short. If I've forgotten anything, ask me a question in the comments below. Other Gucci makeup that I recommend that's not holiday, but I would use with this, the permanent shades of the blusher. This one is Silky Rose. It's the perfect pretty girly pink, but it's got a bit of warmth to it, so it works with my skin tone. The recently released highlighters. I have to be honest, I've got a little bit on now for this video, but if I'm going to do a blush like this, I feel like remaining a little bit matte and not too shiny and highlightery is my preference. But the formulas of these, this is the pink one, Opal Pink 04. They are the perfect, no glitter. They feel like silk. Some people don't like these. I find it mind-blowing that anyone could not appreciate this formula. I think they're stunning. And then I've got the lilac one as well, which really shows up, but it's wearable for a lilac highlighter, but I have used this more as an eyeshadow. And then my favorite Gucci product, without doubt, so much so I have not one but 2 refills of it ready to go, is the Gucci Cushion Foundation. I am shade 5. I think this one is nearly done. The formula, I can be having the most awful, flaky, dull skin, dry, tight, dehydrated, just not a good skin day, and I can use this foundation and it will never cling, and it will make me glowy, and it will last for ages for a cushion. It's exquisite. So Gucci makeup is just really worth the splurge for me, and this holiday collection did not disappoint. I love the packaging, I love the color story. I think the formula is really lovely. You're just going to have to play around and get that eyeshadow to work for you, because it's not crazy pigmented like some other brands like Natasha Denona and stuff. But I'm really enjoying this one. And when you see my final holiday makeup video, where I just whiz through everything I bought and try and place it along that line of like, what are my top recommendations? What would I not lose any sleep over not having? This is going to be near the top. The eyeshadow, and in particular that, I would say the bold blush, but actually it's the lighter blush that makes this wearable. So these two together, oh, and the eyeshadow, just fantastic and fun. I'll see you next time.